Good morning to all our Facebook supporters. As promised, I've come down here today to the Capuchin complex to catch up with Jenny and to ask Jenny some of the questions that you've sent in. Now Jenny's going to start by giving a scatter feed. We've got lots of lovely nuts and seeds and wriggly things actually in that basket, so if we can just chuck that out to the guys, that would be great. Okay, so Jenny, just while you're doing the scatter feed, our first question is from Janet, and she would like to know how Gizmo is and who Gizmo is friends with.
Gizmo's really good. He's friends, he quite likes the two boys in the group. He generally sticks to himself a lot of the time, but he prefers to be by himself and does interact occasionally with some of the lower ranking females.
Okay, and a question from Kerry. She would like to know what is their favourite food.
Their favourite foods are all the insects, so the mealworms, waxworms, any kind of nut that's in a shell they love, and also grapes are very popular.
Fantastic. And a question from Emma. She says, what, if anything, do they squabble about?
Generally males and females, so sometimes they'll squabble, a couple of the males will squabble over a favourite female. Those are the main things.
Okay, and a question now from Gail. Do any of them still do the head twisting movement that we've all seen?
Yeah, we've still got a few individuals that, particularly when they change direction, still have that little head twist. So I think, we'll still have that behaviour with them for quite some time.
Question from Sue. She'd like to know how many Capuchins we now have at the park.
We've got 82 in 4 mixed sex groups.
Lots of noise going on. Another question from Kerry. She would like to know what the best thing is about working with the Capuchins.
The best thing would definitely be their intelligence, and also they live in quite big social groups, so watching sort of the way they interact with one another and how they also manipulate their environments, probably my favourite thing.
Okay, a question now from Marina. She would like to know how come Tao is so popular with the ladies.
I think because Tao's a very handsome man. He's also one of only 2 boys in that group, so that always helps. Generally just his personality, he's got a lovely personality and the girls just really seem to take to him.
Okay, a question from Jenny now. Who's the bravest when it comes to climbing up high in the trees? Now obviously in these 3 enclosures we don't have specifically high trees. Obviously at the Capuchin Lodge the trees are very, very high. So who is the bravest when it comes to climbing up there?
I'd say the bravest is probably Scarlet, particularly as she doesn't have a full tail as well, but you'll see her right up the tops of the trees. And some of our older boys, so Boise and Archie as well, they'll go right up to the top canopy and in the sunshine and have a good time up there.
Fantastic. A question now from Kerry. Who is the naughtiest? So out of all of the Capuchins we've got, which one is the naughtiest?
We've got quite a few contenders for the naughtiest spot, I'd have to say. They're all very mischief. Quite a lot in Winslow's group, so Felipe, also Erico can be quite naughty at times, very good at trying to get hold of things he's not supposed to have. I'd say those 2
okay.
Spring to mind.
Now this is a question from Kaylee. She says you guys do needle training with our apes and just wondered if we do it with our monkeys as well.
At the moment the Capuchins aren't quite at the same level as our chimps. We do a little bit of behavioural training with them, but there's a few individuals that sort of know hands and mouth and open, but we're not quite at the stage of needle training at this point.
Okay, a question from Sarah now. How is Gorillon?
Gorillon's doing very well. He's now 37 years of age, so he's definitely our eldest Capuchin here. And he gets on really well. He's with Sean and Joey some of the time, so he gets a lot of protection from Sean, and he's, for his age, he's doing remarkably well.
Okay, a question from Garrett. Garrett would like to know how Terry, as we fondly call her, is doing.
Terry's doing very well. She's settled in really well with Sunny's group down the bottom, and she's very good friends with Minnie, so she's got a good pal there.
Okay, and a question from Carol. She says, with the chimps in the past you've had unexpected pregnancies, i.e. birth contraception failures. Do the Cappies have the same type of birth control?
With the Cappies, because we've got quite only a few males and quite a large ratio of females, we've actually gone down the route of giving the boys all vasectomies, so that seems to be working very well, so we haven't tried birth control methods with them.
Now obviously when the Capuchins first arrived here at the park, we had all of the females down at the bottom and all of the males up at the top. How is it working now that we have some mixed groups here at the park? Obviously that's a much more natural way for them to live. Would you agree with that? Would you say that that's working well?
Yeah, I think the mixed groups is working very well. It is a much more natural way for the Capuchins to live, males and females, and what we've found is, although I said, you know, one of the things they fight over is sometimes the females, it's actually meant for our hierarchies that the dominant females are actually less likely to pick on some of the lower members in the group, the lower females, so this has really helped with tension in the groups.
That's great. Thank you, Jenny, and thank you to our Facebook supporters for sending in those questions.